Yeah.
That's the 30th.
Same 30th?
Already.
I thought it was the third week, not the second.
Don't rush us.
I don't know what it is. Okay, cells adapt to changes in their internal environment. What does that mean?
They change based on the environment they're in?
Right, but their environment they're in, or their, what are
Inside
these
the body?
changes in?
Inside themselves?
Internal environment, changes in the internal environment. So inside the body and even inside of the cell, cells can change and adapt to it. Now, a lot of it's going to be response to external stuff too. Okay. Cells adapt to increased work demands by changing. Right? Size, which is going to be atrophy or hypertrophy. Atrophy is what?
Show up.
Decrease in size. Hypertrophy is
Opposite.
increase in size. So if I go to the gym, if I were to go to the gym and work out, even funnier, what do my muscles do? Do I increase the number of muscle cells I have?
I think so.
You increase the size of them.
The size.
Increase the size of it.
Not
What
the
keeps
actual
growing?
amount.
I'll let you know. The only way you can increase the number, I mean, you can a little bit, but really the only way you can really do a big increase in number is what?
You work out a lot?
Steroids. Steroids trigger the muscle cells to start dividing. They just get bigger. They just go through hypertrophy. They get bigger. And if you do not use them, like me, what happens to them?
Atrophy.
You don't use your muscles?
Yeah, they start to atrophy. The atrophy can be bad because if they atrophy too far, we'll talk about that in a little bit. It can be really bad. Number is going to be hyperplasia, which is going to be an increase in number. Right? And sometimes when they're doing things,
So would that be what steroids do, hyperplasia?
you can induce you can induce hyperplasia. It's weird, usually when you hear the term hyperplasia, usually it's something not good. So it's going to be like cancer cells or premalignant cells. But technically, yeah. In form, which is metaplasia, another thing that looks forward to is what?
Cancer.
Cancer.
And that means like shape?
Shape, yes. What do they look like? What is their morphology, the term with a lot of things scientists use? So atrophy is a decrease in cell size, and the general cause for atrophy can be grouped into 5 categories, and I want to go through these a little bit. Disuse. You just don't use it, it's going to what?
Die.
It's going to shrink, it's going to atrophy, right? What does this mean? The innervation.
Well, innervation
Where
is
it
to
breaks
turn.
down?
Hmm?
No?
Not that part.
Isn't it like the loss of
Your nerves.
nerves?
Loss of nerve conduction. Innervation is going to be nerves, so if you get deinnervation, you're going to have loss of nerves, which is really going to ultimately lead to what?
Paralysis.
Loss, this, well, you'll be right, yeah. But it's going to, in terms of muscles, there's going to be disuse, right? If you can't innervate them, you can't what? You can't use them, right? Loss of endocrine stimulation. Endocrine, so lots of endocrine steroid signaling is going to cause atrophy. And maybe it is a third week, inadequate nutrition. So you just don't have enough energy and enough building blocks for your muscles, your cells, they're also going to what? Start to atrophy too, right? Ischemia or decreased blood flow, and that's what ischemia is, right? Ischemia is loss of what? The loss of blood flow is going to be loss of what? What 2 things contribute to cell injury? Oxygen and
Release of carbon dioxide.
nope. Yeah, there's less worried about that, but yeah, it would build up, but probably not before you have another problem. But
Perfusion?
perfusion is going to lead to ischemia. Loss of perfusion is going to lead to ischemia, right? So ischemia is going to be loss of oxygen, but what else do your cells need? Because ischemia doesn't always necessarily decrease blood flow. Doesn't always mean it stops, right? Loss of energy, glucose, everything, loss of nutrients, huh?
ATP?
Yeah, ATP production, so you don't have glucose, you don't have energy to make ATP. So some of these things, so ischemia can cause problems twice. Usually it's the loss of oxygen that's the most critical, right? But over time it can also be other, especially muscles. Now, what happens with long-term disuse of muscles? I.e. somebody that's bedridden, comatose patient.
Sword?
But that's not muscular, you get sore.
It's hard to use it again.
It's hard to use it again, but what can happen eventually even more so?
Is that death?
Cell death. If the cells go through prolonged atrophy, they will actually die, and that's the problem with it. That's why they really, it's not just for a while, they just get weak and you can rebuild them. Like, anybody ever had a cast on your arm, and you get that cast on, even 6 weeks later, what's happened to that arm?
Sweet.
It's so- But the long-term atrophy actually leads to cell death. All right, hypertrophies increase cell size, and with it, increase the amount of functional tissue mass. This is one where you can, your cardiac cells can grow in hypertrophy. So myocardial hypertrophy that results from valvular heart disease or hypertension. This, you're an AD, we just went over this, my God. Hypertrophy, ventricular hypertrophy due to hypertension is you can't open up that valve, the aortic valve, to get the blood out as easily. It's like I talked about that, it's like somebody's pushing against that door harder. So the harder they're pushing against that door, the harder it is to what? Open the door.
Open it, yeah.
So the muscle has to get what? Bigger. We're talking about muscles going through hypertrophy to overcome that pressure. The problem is with cardiac tissue, hypertrophy over time, it has a negative effect. You start getting cardiomyopathy, start having issues with the heart. So at the beginning, it sounds like a good deal, but the way, and it's down to cellular level stuff, the way it works is not good. Okay? If you get hypertrophy from exercising and increasing that, that's good. You get it from hypertension or other things, it's bad. Hyperplasia is increasing cell numbers, right? So benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, guys, we're all gonna get it eventually. So what is this?
Like prostate cancer?
It's not prostate cancer.
Well, it's benign, so it's not cancerous, but it's like prostate something.
Not really, because cancer is gonna be uncontrolled cell, even benign tumors are cell growth, right? This is hyperplasia, yeah, I'm sorry, God, I'm freaking out. I'm not freaking out, just thinking that something's getting, but it is, it's gonna be increased cell growth, so it's gonna be a benign increase in prostate. I was thinking of hypertrophy, you get hypertrophy too. So what happens, you get older, your prostate just starts what?
Increasing.
Hi guys out there.
Does it start increasing in size?
Starts increasing number, the prostate gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the problem with it is what? Non-related condition that causes lower urinary tract, because what happens?
It like it
You have
presses on the
issues with
bladder,
all
I
kinds
guess?
of stuff.
That's a bladder, what goes right through the middle of your prostate.
The urethra or
No.
ureter?
Yeah, your urine goes right through the prostate, so it just starts to
Oh,
get
so
bigger and bigger.
hard to pee.
It's,
It makes it hard to pee?
Or you can get like where you have to pee more,
And
Oh.
it does push on the bladder, and so you get that urge to pee more too, but it also
more
increases.
infection.
Hmm?
Was there more infection?
Could
Like
be,
if you can't pee,
could be, but what's up there to cause that infection? You gotta think about that too. You're not flushing things down, so it can
because
increase.
I'm saying like your
Yeah.
buildup of urine, I don't.
Could cause an increase in infection, but in general, it's gonna be decreased urine flow and more urgency. For two reasons, one is pushing on the bladder, and two, the bladder staying what?
Full.
Cool.
Fuller longer, so. Get ready to get up and throw the bathroom every 5 minutes at night. All right, this is gonna be myocardial hypertrophy. This is just an increase in what?
Oh, yeah,
This is the left
tissue.
ventricle.
Wow.
Cross-section of the left ventricle. And I'll tell you, I had, he's not sure but he passed away at 31,
What?
32. He was that young, he was hypertensive, and he had marked left ventricular hypertrophy already. That's from this hypertension.
Was it like congenital or was he very overweight
I
or?
don't know, I didn't find out, I saw the autopsy report, I don't know what talking about that. So I'm like, wow, that's young. All right, metaplasia now is gonna be what? Replacement of adult cells with different cell types. What does that mean? Where do you see that?
Cancer?
Cancer is a different cell type?
So the cell type would be, so it would be like a heart or something?
I don't know. So cancer is usually, if I get liver cancer, primary liver cancer, are they still liver cells?
Oh, no, yeah, they are.
They're
Yes,
still
they
liver
are.
cells, right? They just become cancerous, right? If I get pancreatic cancer, they're still pancreatic cells. So where do you think you might see this metaplasia? There's one place that's classic metaplasia. Where? GERD? Yes, exactly. What happens with GERD? It's, over time, you start replacing the normal cells of your esophagus with different cells that are gonna be a little bit more harder than everything else. Like the classic example, good. So Barrett's esophagus is a pre-malignant condition that occurs in the esophagus of people with chronic GERD. You keep getting that damage in there, and it's a precursor to what? Pre-malignant, so people who have this are in high risk of getting what?
Oh,
Esophageal cancer, really bad. They really want to check on that. It takes a while.
So it's like mesenchymal cells make a difference?
What do you mean?
If it just changes into a different, or because of the hardening, it's considered a different cell?
No, it's
Oh.
a change in cell type, and I can't remember. Is it, what do you have in your training? Is it columnar?
Columnar.
Yeah, they think they become cuboidal.
wow.
And they start, so it's actually, it's a change in cell type. It's actually a different cell type that kicks in. And then they start getting damaged.
That's crazy.
The dysplasia is dearranged cell growth of a specific tissue. And what's an example of that one we talked about?
Wouldn't that be cancer?
Huh?
Wouldn't that be cancer?
Could be cancer.
Deranged?
Results in cells that vary in size, shape, and organization. Mild degrees of dysplasia are associated with chronic irritation or inflammation. They start getting kind of chronically irritated or messed up. But when you're looking for pap smear, when you're looking for pap smear, when you get a pap smear, what are they looking for?
Oh.
The misshapen cells.
Misshapen cells. So these are going to be pre-malignant too, most of the time, right? So dysplasia, pap smear. That's what they're looking for.
So what makes it a pre-malignant and an actual malignant? Like, I don't understand.
Well,
If
a lot
it's
of times,
irregular.
colon cancers, polyps,
That's
pre-malignant cells, yeah, inside of, in the cervix and stuff, when they're looking for these things, the cells just start changing shape.
Yeah, so wouldn't that make them,
No, they haven't so malignant, what's the difference between malignant and pre-malignant?
that's what I'm asking.
I guess, would
School
it,
and preschool.
would it kind of be like, say for like skin cancer, like you can remove precancerous cells?
Yeah, I don't know how they find pre-cancer, and usually you got skin cancer, usually got cancer.
Well, there was no
That's what I-
medication where it can, like you put it on your face and it's like a kind of like a peel?
Yeah,
It gets rid of precancerous cells.
I guess, yeah, I don't know how they, that's probably a prophylactic method to look at. But let's go back to the other one. What's the difference between a pre-malignant cell and a malignant cell?
Well,
Or
what's that,
polyps.
like a cancer, actual cancer?
Is
Right, so what's the difference?
Oh, spread maybe? The way it's, no?
What is the definition of cancer?
Irregular cell.
growing.
Nope. Huh?
Pre is before it actually gets to that stage, right?
For what's
So
the,
it's
Uncontrolled cell growth, that's basically the definition for cancer.
okay.
So pre-malignant cells, they're jacked up, for lack of a better clinical term for it, right?
But they haven't
But
grown.
they're not growing out of control yet. They haven't, now some of them will, some of them may never do it, but they can have the potential to do it. So that's a pre-malignant cell. It's got a lot of damage to it, usually it's gonna lose a lot of function and everything else, but it hasn't started to grow out of control yet. It's been able to maintain that particular regulatory mechanism. I put this in from another book, so I think it's easy. I think this helps a lot just looking at it. So here's normal cells.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Hyperplasia is gonna be what?
Cell number?
3 cell numbers, so you got more of them cramming in there. Atrophy is gonna be what? Decreased size. Metaplasia, what's happened here? You went from, you get sort of like
Oh.
columnar to cuboidal. Okay, conversion of one cell type to another. Hypertrophy is just increased size, and then dysplasia is what?
Crazy growth.
Disorderly cell growth, shape, size, clustering, things like that, things that just don't look normal. Okay?
What causes metaplasia? Is it the damage or is it
It's a compensatory mechanism from the damage over time, and I don't know exactly what triggers that. I've never looked into that, but that's what it is. It's,
Okay.
it's the chronic irritation and burning
Damage.
from the stomach acid. Somehow it switches the cell growth over. You
So
know,
it'd be like
I
scar
don't-
tissue?
Huh?
Would it be like scar tissue, kind of?
No, it's not really scar tissue
No?
either. That would just be fibrotic cells and everything else. It's not, it's just weird. I'll look into that. I've never looked, I got one of my relatives has Barrett syndrome. He's on Prilosec every day.
wow?
I'm gonna look at the exact mechanism of Barrett syndrome. All right, which of the following best describes the cellular adaptation seen in chronic cigarette smokers? Ooh.
Oh, that was easy.
Metaplasia?
Yeah, metaplasia.
Well, that would be because it's simple.
Metaplasia because it changed.
It'd be squamous
Metaplasia?
cells, right?
Metaplasia?
Nobody look at the answers that they printed at the top either.
It'd be squamous cells from the respiratory tract. The
Okay.
squamous cells would change, and
They will change.
so yeah, I think it would be.
We all agree with that?
Yes, D.
That was easy.
Good. Metaplasia, now cells are damaged, harder versions replace the normal strata cells. Is that necessarily cancerous?
No.
No. All right. We've got the intracellular accumulations. So, normal body substances are when the substance is produced at a rate that exceeds its metabolism or what?
Removal. When it exceeds its metabolism. It's too much.
So that's gonna cause what? Normal body substances, when a substance is produced at a rate that exceeds its metabolism or removal, right? So bear with me. What's going to happen if you do that?
It's gonna start storing it.
You're gonna start storing, okay? And that's what they talk about, intracellular accumulation, lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, melanin, all different types of things can happen, right? Okay? Fatty changes in the liver due to what?
Intracellular.
Intracellular accumulation of triglycerides. If you drink too much, you can get, what's the first stage of alcohol liver disease?
Fatty liver.
Fatty liver, how does that happen?
Over.
Actually, heavy drinkers,
It
heavy,
doesn't
every,
give it time to detox.
doesn't give it time, what happens is normally your liver's gonna what? Break down those things, right? But if you're drinking a lot of alcohol, your liver's shifting to what? Metabolizing the alcohol a lot, there's a shift in metabolic pathways. So the liver starts to store these things. And you can't get rid of them fast enough. You start to store them, and over time, what's gonna happen? What happens with cells?
It'll kill your liver.
You get inflammation is the first part, and then you get a broader immune response, and then you start getting fibrosis. It actually starts killing the cells.
Oh.
There's some other ones too, I will talk about. Uh-oh. What happened there? Same thing with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. What happens with that? That's what you guys are gonna be seeing tons and tons and tons of. Right?
That's congenital though, right?
Nope.
Oh.
I mean, it could be.
What happens or how does it happen?
What's causing it? Why, anybody ever hear of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? I mean, 10 years ago, you ever heard of it?
Diet?
It's diet. It's like that, it's that, increase in obesity, the Western diet, and it's just the same thing. The liver just cannot process this stuff fast enough. High amounts of carbohydrates, so you get more which get converted to triglycerides, right? When they get in their blood, then they get stored in the liver. And that's gonna be, they think that is going to overtake liver transplants from accidental overdose, I think it's.
Wow.
What's the main cause of liver transplants in the US right now?
Fatty liver, maybe?
Not yet, I think it's going to.
Alcoholism?
Not alcoholism either, because there's a lot less alcoholics than there are. And not only like 10% of hardcore drinkers even get cirrhosis.
Diabetes?
No, no, what did I say? oh, the main cause, right?
Yeah.
It's accidental overdose of things. Acute
Oh.
toxicity, total intoxication, things like that. That's still the highest one. All right, darn it, how does those move up? So, abnormal endogenous product, that means something that's what? Made in the cell right there, right? So, a normal enzyme may be replaced with an abnormal one, resulting in the formation of a substance that cannot be used or eliminated from the cell. An enzyme may be missing so that the intermediate product accumulates in the cell. If you got it in that, I'm gonna tape myself in the summer. If you've got an enzymatic pathway that goes A, B, C, D. So this is gonna be product, start product B, C, D, and something happens here, right? So you don't convert this to C, you convert it to F. Can this enzyme work on this?
No,
So what's gonna happen to it?
what's gonna happen with D?
What's gonna happen? B's gonna be gone, that's gonna be bad enough right there, but what's gonna happen to the F's?
Floating around.
They're gonna start accumulating inside of it. That's one way, it's knocked out of that metabolic pathway, okay? One of the big classic examples of this is Tay-Sachs disease. Tay-Sachs disease is an inherited glycosphingolipid storage disorder. Say that 3 times fast. Okay? Tay-Sachs, another genetic disorder, abnormal lipids accumulate in the brain. They can't get broken down. Other tissues causing motor and mental deterioration beginning at approximately 6 months of age.
Oh,
Followed by death at what?
2 to 5.
2 to 5. And it's an accumulation. Another one that does this is another brain, another storage disorder they call them now, is what? Happens in older adults. If they get it, it's genetic. A lot of these are genetic. Called storage disorders. Same thing, you can't, they start storing things up in there and they get up to dangerous levels. Basically, the same thing happens with Alzheimer's, right?
Oh, I knew it.
Start getting those
Alzheimer's.
beta amyloid plaques. Not Alzheimer's, Huntington's disease is another one that runs. It just kicks in later. Okay, environmental agents and pigments are not broken down by the cell when they start to what? So what's an example of an environmental pigment?
Environment.
Technically, what is one? It's not bad, because the type of cell it goes into. Well, that's all. Tattoos?
Oh,
But they don't cause damage, do they? It's just anything like that. So that's what I'm like, this is missing exogenous. Exogenous products are environmental agents and pigments, right? Something happened to my PowerPoint when I was trying to do the rest of this. Common exogenous pigment is carbon in the form of coal dust, okay? Anybody ever heard of black lung disease? You don't hear about it much anymore, but you might have read about it. Anybody? What is it?
It's, inhaling too much coal.
Coal?
Miners have it.
Yeah, coal dust, right?
Yeah.
Which is coal, but it sounds like it would like a big chunk of there. It's coal dust, okay? So you get too much coal dust in there, coal miners, and it starts doing what? Starts causing what? Black lung is fibrosis of the lungs. So the lungs start scarring over and they can no longer do gas exchange. You can also get what's called silicosis, which would be what? What's silica?
Cilia?
No, silica, fancy name for sand, okay? So silicosis, some people work in areas, sandblasting, some other areas, environmental, same thing. They're inhaling so much silica dust in their lungs all the time, it also causes pulmonary fibrosis. But these are exogenous ones that do that.
and fibrosis is like scarring, right?
Fibrosis is scarring. You start replacing the functional tissue with scar tissue. The scar tissue is non-what? The scar tissue work?
No.
No.
No, non-functional. Same thing with cirrhosis. God, I don't know what, am I drinking on that? Okay, calcification is just gonna be deposition of calcium in or on tissues. So you get abnormal tissue deposition of calcium salts. And this happens all the time in our body. This is one of the big problems with arthrosclerosis is actually calcification is one part of it. Okay? Together with smaller amounts of iron, magnesium, and other minerals, so they start getting deposited on these tissues. Calcium salts, iron, magnesium are all going to be very what? They're going to be nice and flexible like your tissue needs
No.
to be? No. So you start getting calcification, these things get stiff and rigid, and they don't function well. Bad enough when it's plaques, we'll show you another one in a minute. Dystrophic calcification is macroscopic deposition of calcium salts in injured tissue. And injured tissue occurs in dead or dying tissues. Things start to die, you start getting this calcification around there. And this is very common in the body. In fact, if the body's trying to sequester something off, how does it do it? Anybody know?
Yeah, it starts encapsulating it.
Inflammation, but what do they call it around it? When they really start getting calcification around the outside of it. In fact, have you ever heard of a meningioma? Meningioma is usually a benign brain tumor.
Oh,
It starts in the meninges and it starts to grow down. And it usually doesn't cause problems unless it gets too big, because you only got so much room in here, right?
right.
But meningioma sometimes will quit growing, and you can tell that because if they look at a CT scan of the head, well, here's the meningioma. So you'll start seeing this
Oh, the
horde of
calcification.
calcification around it.
Oh.
Yeah, it depends on how bad it is. If it starts causing problems, they go in and try to take it out.
So it's not cell death, it's just a hardening.
Yeah, it's just a benign tumor. And then calcification is just, yeah, some of the cells in the body are probably dying around it.
So it would be like TB, like how the body like calcifies.
You get you get calcification in that, you get calcification in your aorta from arthrosclerosis. In fact, if you look at an X-ray, if you're gonna do a CT scan looking for arthrosclerosis, what's gonna show up on that CT scan? Anybody done any imaging? Are you gonna see lipid plaques and things like that? That could be X-ray dense? Usually start seeing the calcification deposits in it, when you start seeing them. I think I have a picture here in a minute. So commonly seen in what? Arthromosis lesions of advanced arthrosclerosis, which promotes plaque formation. You get deposition of this calcium. Okay? And this one shows up a lot. Calcification in the aortic valve is a frequent cause of aortic stenosis in older adults. So where's your aortic valve?
Heart.
Which one?
Sivils.
Which one?
No,
No, it's good. The left one, the left semi-interval, right? Good. Aortic valve. So you start getting calcification on that, and how is that going to cause problems?
Well, if it becomes inflexible, then it can't do its
You
job.
start getting back.
You're going to get backflow, you're going to have lots of, I don't want to just say any people that are there. But it starts getting calcified, it starts getting rigid and stiff, loses its flexibility, so it's all going to cause a decrease in like cardiac output, which is the bad part of the time. This is going to be a CT scan right here. So here's a coronary artery, and what are you looking for in this?
Hardening of the.
What's showing up in here?
Oh, calcium.
Calcification on there, so that's showing that you got a big plaque formation in there, without having to do anything else. All right, so what are the two types? Dystrophic? All right. And metastatic calcification.
Okay.
This is all from, dystrophic is from what?
Calcium salts,
Tissue
injury.
injury and inflammation, right? It's a tissue injury and inflammation. Metastatic calcification occurs in normal tissues as a result of hypercalcemia. You've got too much calcium floating around for some reason, and it's gonna start doing what? You get too much saturation in there with something that's in solution, what's it gonna start doing? It's gonna start precipitating out, right? You just got too much in there to deal with. It's gonna start building up. Almost any condition that increases serum calcium levels can lead to this, right? And where does it start to drop off?
The kidneys.
Interstitial tissues, lung, renal tubules, which is gonna cause renal what?
Failure.
Failure. Blood vessels, again, this could also lead right back to what?
The heart.
Arthrosclerosis again, well, if you're deposing, you're getting that, you get rigid, stiff vessels, right? Just know the difference between what?
Between what?
Dystrophic is from what? How does dystrophic calcification start?
Injury.
Injury, inflammation, cell death, right?
Injury.
Metastatic calcification occurs due to what?
Normal
Any normal tissue, but any increase
calcium.
in calcium levels. So what could cause an increase in calcium levels? I drink a lot of milk,
Taking some of the vitamins.
take too many vitamins. Could be you have to drink a lot of milk. You could probably-
Maybe renal function, because that's what gets rid of the calcium that you don't need.
Any renal insufficiency could do some of those.
Yeah.
What's another one? Hormonally, which actually.
Oh, that's right. Hormones, yeah, because when
So which hormone does it?
Parathyroid?
no
Good,
estrogen.
hyperparathyroidism. You need a malignant tumor in the parathyroid, you start making too much parathyroid hormone, it starts doing what?
Taking calcium.
Sucking all that calcium out of your bone. And there are anything that could cause it. So parathyroid, bone marrow tumors, vitamin D intoxication, how would that cause it? Not calcium, it's vitamin D.
Well, I think they like go together.
I guess you could drink way too much milk. Vitamin D causes you, how does vitamin D regulate calcium? Serum calcium levels.
Like
You have
rubbing
to-
it in.
It
Causes-
helps
It
absorption.
absorbs it, yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Vitamin D
take it out to
brings
get
in
it.
calcium, that's
Yeah.
what it does. So now you've got way too much vitamin D, you're absorbing way too much calcium. And renal failure, like you said. Okay. Question, don't look at the answers. I gotta take the answer out of here. Is the following statement true or false? Whew, that's a good question. Is dystrophic calcification can result from prolonged ischemia?
True.
Yes, isn't that we're just
True?
true? Like when you have heat, right?
No, lack of blood oxygen. No blood.
Yep. Ischemia stresses tissues, it dies, and you get that calcium precipitate out of it.
What's ischemia again?
Ischemia is loss of oxygen.
Oh, you're right.
Now, don't confuse perfusion and ischemia. They're related, but they're not exactly the same thing. Perfusion is loss of what? Blood flow. Now, loss of blood flow can lead to ischemia. All right. Spent a lot of time on cancer. Okay, injury physical agents. I added some stuff to this, if you printed it and you look at it, I added some things to go with it. Mechanical forces are just gonna be what?
Like getting hurt, like car accident.
Trauma, cuts, broken bones, organs, vessel damage, but not just cuts. If you're in a car wreck and you have a sudden stop, what can happen? When you fall off a building,
You could rupture your organs.
what kills you? Is it the
Oh.
fall?
No, isn't it?
Fall that kills you?
Don't you suffocate on your way down? Like depending on how high you are.
No, you have to be pretty high for that. So
Oh.
so let's say a building. So if you fall off a building, what kills you?
All your
Fall?
all your broken bones.
No, not necessarily.
Rupture? Don't your organs rupture?
It's the sudden stop at the bottom, that's exactly where it's going to fall at, it's that sudden stop at the bottom. And what happens with that sudden stop at the bottom? You can't get broken bones, but there's also thing called a deceleration injury. And deceleration injury is when your aorta gets ripped off your heart. When that sudden stop at the bottom, and that's the common way people die from these falls. That's any
Decel.
mechanical injury. Any sudden stop like that can cause vessels to rupture, it can cause organs to rupture, you can have broken bones, cuts, trauma, anything that's mechanical, right?
What do you call it?
Extreme
Decellular what?
Deceleration injury.
Decel.
So extremes of temperature can also cause injury, both hot and cold. So what happens if you get a burn? What happens if you get a little bit of a burn? It starts to warm up somewhat. What happens, guys, think back to what temperature affects inside of your cell.
It breaks down protein.
You're gonna start getting enzymatic damage, right? You're gonna start having damage to the membranes of the cells, that's gonna start getting too fluidic. Vascular injury gets hotter and hotter, now you're gonna start getting what? Vascular injury, coagulation now, so you're gonna get ischemia, you're gonna get damage from that, depends on how hot it is. If it gets too hot, it's just gonna do what?
Kill you.
It's just gonna start destroying the tissue, right? But some of these, you won't even see overt tissue death right away. If it gets too cold, you're gonna get viscosity increases and get hypoxia, which is what?
the opposite. You're,
So they get like the vessels get smaller or, well.
yeah.
Well, epoxy is going to do the basic, epoxy is loss of oxygen, right, to the cells. So epoxy from viscosity, vasoconstriction, because they're going to get, they get cold, should be dilating. But, and then ultimately, you're going to get what?
Ice
If it gets
crystal.
cold, then you get ice crystal formation, and that's just going to do what?
Kill
Ice
yourself.
crystals just shred your cells when they get inside. Electrical forces, I like this one.
Uh-oh.
This is different, a lot of people don't realize how you die from electricity. Electrical forces disrupt cardiac and neuronal function, that's one of the main things they do. A lot of people die from electrocution, die from what?
Heart attack.
Cardiac malfunction, heart attack, right? Interesting, the one we use the most is what?
Most dangerous.
AC, and it's the most dangerous. Secondarily, what is our voltage here? 110, right? What's the voltage in Europe?
220.
Which one do you think is gonna be worse for you?
The 110.
110.
Why?
Because it's the opposite of what it sounds it should be.
Opposite what?
It's the opposite of what it sounds like it should be.
But this higher voltage, that's gotta be worse for you, right? Right? How many volts are in a static electricity discharge when you touch
Is it
somebody?
closer to our, is that why? Because it's closer to our rhythm?
I think your heart is just much more sensitive to that particular voltage. That's absolutely it. How much is voltage is in a, grab my feet? Anybody know? You have an idea?
Random facts.
They're about 14,000 volts. But they're very low amperage. And amperage is one of the big things that causes a lot of damage. Amperage. You guys don't even memorize it. Just want to know how electrical damage, what's its effect. That's really weird because my office is right there. Who's in my office right now? Huh. All right, resistance to heat, okay, also. The more resistance you have, the higher the, anybody do any electric with you right here? If I plug in electric, why do they tell you not to plug in 27 Christmas light strings together? Well, you can now because they're LED. Olden days, why couldn't you? You start increasing the resistance. As the resistance goes up, heat goes way up. And you ever felt an electrical cord that's
It's
really
hot.
long and they start getting hot? That's from resistance. Same thing here. As this current goes through you, it can increase resistance depending on what type of tissue it goes through. Some tissues have higher resistance than others. You can get thermal burns. So the course of the current takes is critical. Then an experiment. So is it better or worse to be hit by lightning if it's raining or if it's dry?
Dry.
Which one's better?
Better or raining?
Raining, because the
Rain?
current can go through the water.
So when it hits you,
Could go out
out through where?
through the water.
Through what water?
The rainwater.
But not through the rain.
No, like if you're standing in a puddle or.
Not in a puddle. You're just walking in the rain. You're standing in the rain. You're walking down there. Water conducts what?
Electricity.
Electricity, right? So would it be worse or better?
Better.
It's
I
not gonna be
think-
worse, but you're actually right, but I'm trying to tell you why. They did an experiment where they had a guy and they had a dummy, they started to find volunteers for this. And they hit him with the simulated electricity and it fried him. Went right through him, half the leaf system, went through his head, came out his feet. That's usually what happens. The water on the person was less resistant